Hey, Mitchell Levy, global credibility expert, and I'm loving the Leaders Living Their Values series because I get to speak to super amazingly cool people about who they are, what they do, essentially their values. And Brad Kohler is no exception. Brad Kohler running for state senate in
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
I was going to say Minnesota, then I like all of a sudden I
That's
had this brain freeze. Brad, who are you? Nice to see you.
Hey, Mitchell, thanks for having me on the show. Well, who am I? Well, that's a loaded question. Well, I mean, you can call me the former UFC fighter, author, inventor, father, family man. I guess some of those things are the superficial me. The real me is, I'm a guy who's got a great relationship and a great family, and I love helping people. Now, apparently, running for Senate. So that's right there in a nutshell who I am. There's a long story about the superficial me. It's a previous life, I guess you want to call that. My current life for the past 10, 12 years has been, mentoring, helping other people, living a Christian, moral, positive life.
I liked how you said sort of the accidental you running for Senate. Tell me why. Why does somebody want to do that? Why would you want to do that?
Well, my business got shut down, like many, in 2020. And I'm not blaming it on, it was just bad timing for a lot of businesses and a lot of hard people who, like myself, put my life savings into a business that lost. And I just think, we're being led by some very poor leaders right now. I'm just not one of those people who like to talk about things. I'm not one of those guys sitting in the bar and go, oh, that professional athlete right there on the TV sucks, because that's one of the best people out there playing football or baseball, and the guy sitting on the bar calling them someone who sucks. So I'm not one of those guys. I believe if you're going to want to do something, you do it. People thought I was crazy when I was going to fight in the UFC. Well, according to my psych evaluation then, people said I was crazy, thinking I can invent something, and then again, according to my psych evaluation then. So what do you think happened when I said I was going to run for state senate? Well, according to my last psych evaluation, okay, there you go. But it's not about really being crazy. It's about, just being passionate about something and not saying you're going to do something, but actually go out and do it. There's a lot of people that say, oh, I'm going to start a business. Oh, great. When? I'm thinking January or after taxes or this. They just always prolong it. They put it off. So I'm one of those guys who, if I say I'm going to do something, I definitely do it.
To me, that's from a credibility perspective, that's the integrity piece. That's why I've always enjoyed our conversations, both the external integrity, which apparently many politicians have, and what I've seen about you is that internal integrity, which, by the way, not as many politicians have. Why do they do that?
Well, I'm going to tell you, there are the politicians out there, and then there are the public servants. You don't hear much about the public servants because they're the ones who want to meet in the middle, okay? They're the ones who want to get the best from both sides and have a happy-go-lucky world and do the best thing for our communities. The true politicians is your right and the left, and they're not considered about the right and the wrong. So a true politician, sucks the life out of you by taking your taxpayer money and getting nothing done for you. Mm-hmm. A public servant is a person who's not going in there because their family owns a $20 billion company and they now have a political position that pays $50,000. So for someone who takes a position that's a multimillionaire that only pays $50,000, you best bet they're in there to be part of their secret handshaking society and help their friends better. It's not about helping the people. It's about helping their friends.
Amazing. Now, I know you grabbed a particular political party. Do you want to talk about that?
I didn't at first. I was actually starting with the Democratic community, okay? And there's a couple of reasons why I wouldn't go with the Democrats, number one, I'm not into the CRT because I have a mixed child, I have a biracial child, so I'm not into the CRT that they're trying to pump through. And the other thing is, I mean, just because I had worn a wig on Halloween doesn't mean I don't want to be identified as a male. Okay, so they didn't get that whole joke, and they really didn't like it. Anyway, then I went with the independents, and the independents really are a great bunch of people, but they're not fully fundally backed or very popular. So also, there's not a lot of them that are national parties. So when the Republican Party, and I was looking into the Republican Party, I saw a lot of like-minded people that are more conservative. And then the ones I was meeting were very conservative, and also the ones that really just wanted to do what's best for the people and say, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. Let's come to a decision that's best for the people. Let's make laws that are going to really work, or at least try to make laws that really work. And if they fail, let's go back to the drawing board and do it again. These are the kind of Republicans that I'm meeting today. So that's why I went with the Republican Party.
I do agree that I would love to see politicians truly living their values out loud and doing things that are right for their constituency. We just don't see that enough. How are you going to be different?
Well, first of all, even though I'm running under the Republican Party, I'm not endorsed, and they would not endorse me because I will not follow their verbatim platform. I am pro-life, but I'm also pro-choice in a sense. I think that, in certain circumstances, you got to have some gray area there. You can't make it mandatory. Everybody's got to wear masks or wear shots, or you got to get an abortion, or, hey, you can't carry a gun. I mean, there is no perfect amendment out there. And what makes it work is people come to the table that actually want to work together. Not saying, oh, you're the devil and you're heaven. Okay, so that's not it. This is earth. We got to meet in the middle, right? Okay, so there is no real evil. There's no real heaven or angels in politicians. It's just people who have a different mindset. And what we need is more like-minded people that do just want to make things better for our communities and make laws that are going to actually work. One of the problems I have right now is we only have laws that are made for criminals. We don't have many laws that are made for the victims or innocent people. And I think that's one of the problems we have today is, what about the innocent people? How about their rights? We have more rights for criminals than we do for innocent people. I tell you, I win every time on this conversation, okay, which is wrong. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted before that. It was interesting because this is not a conversation I'm definitely going to have an argument with you on. Because I agree, it's very fascinating. When I think about what I'm doing on credibility and what makes somebody credible or not, I think about two important points: being a servant leader and not having any hate. I mean, there's a whole lot more going with that. But we could probably come up with a couple more that are valuable. But when I came up with a pledge for Credibility Nation, those were the two things that were part of it.
I like it. Yeah. No, I'm with you on the hate thing. That's a very negative word that is hard to turn into a positive. I love working with people. There are people who are challenging. I work with many challenging people all day long, but hate is not the challenge to me is to win them over. And you have the old saying, "Kill them with kindness." Well, it works. You have just got to stick to I want to say my Christian moral values and try to kill them with kindness. Let them know that not everybody's out there to get you. So has and then as far as just having values in general, that gives you more of a goal-minded type of personality. So without values, how do you grow as a person? How do you continue to experience better life, better living? And you remember me saying this, I'd rather live my life than just have a life. And when we do that, we need to, try to experience it in the very best of ways, because you want to have good people around you. Nobody wants to be around Debbie Downer, right? So, by the power of attraction, you will pull in better people by having more positive attitude. So,
all right. So you're gonna. I'm just trying to think about, because this is, so many people have these great intentions when they're thinking about politics.
Sure.
So, and then of course they get there and they hit a wall. First, let's talk a little bit. What are your intentions? What would you like to see happen?
I'm a person of your habits, routines, and rituals are who you are every day. Okay. Who you are every day is what you do. I mean, what you do is who you are. So basically is, if you allow people to break that little cycle, it is possible for you to, go down a different path. But all in all, if you have built your life and your legacy and your success and everything around your habits, routines, and rituals, the chances of someone who's never been successful in other than winning an election because, I don't know, they had a pretty face, or they had more money or whatever, those people will not win that battle, because quitting is much easier than keeping, following through with your goals. Success-driven people are the ones who don't quit. And it's not just about winning an election, it's about winning in life. Now, if you can go out and, I'm going to bring up my past here about, training for the cage, training to fight into a cage, walk into a cage where you're in there locked in with one other person. It's not about the will to win. It's about the will to prepare to win. Like in business, if you're a successful business person, it's not about just going to your business. It's about what are you willing to do to be successful, It has with your Christian values. It has about being a parent. It has about being in relationships. The sacrifices that you make day after day after day with your habits, routines, and ritual are who you are. Now, if you take those types of values into your next venture, chances are you're going to end up with more people like you, and that's what's going to happen. Because the people that aren't like you, they're going to say, "Oh my God, I can't keep up with this person." They're going to say, "Oh, people are afraid of the unknown." Okay, so you get someone who's a harder worker. He's there before you. He's there after you. He's getting all this attention. People bail faster than work hard. And in politics, where you're a person getting paid by the state or the government, some of them are very hard workers. They come from great backgrounds, this and that, but there's just not enough of them.
All right, so I got it. I understand when let's assume you get in. We're going to make this assumption. This is a good assumption.
You just had me giggle there.
Let's have positive feeling. And then let's say you hit some wall.
Yeah.
Do you continue to take this attitude, this approach you have, or how do we get to the point where it is not, when I think about Republican, Democrat, I think about, it doesn't matter which one is which, heaven and hell, black or white, right or wrong. And It is not so easy. There's no, as you mentioned, there is no straight answer. How do you work together to really give value to your constituency?
Well, you have to really work with your emotional intelligence on that one. You must keep the emotions out of that, and really work with, focus on, with my, again, habits, routines, and rituals here, because champions don't quit. They readjust. They figure out a way. And that's what makes a person a champion every day, is to figure this out, okay, what is going to bring this to the table? How are we going to get this in? Emotions are where people walk away from the table. And they get mad and angry and frustrated and all upset. When you keep emotions under control using your emotional intelligence, okay, and influencing others with that, let them know that you are not a threat. I think things can get done.
And what happens? Okay, so I hear you. And by the way, I go in every situation that way too.
Yeah.
When do you hit a wall? Would you ever hit a wall?
Sure. That's what ladders are for. Climb over.
Ha. Thank you.
Okay. The wall can be, a wall can be a mountain. Okay. But what mentality do you say, okay, well, I guess there's no way through this. I best go back on the couch and watch Netflix. Okay. That doesn't get you there. Okay. I want to say this. I mean, I don't consider myself a great person. Okay. I consider myself just a person who loves to achieve things, but great people do great things. And you can't do great things by quitting and not trying to evaluate the situation, figure it out, and then succeed. That's just it.
I'm not sure I would say that I don't consider you a great person, but that's a personal opinion. So
I'm the hardest person on myself that anyone can be, because I expect more of myself every day. I want to do better than the last day. And that's just me. I get up, good, better, best. Never let it rest. So your good is better and your better is best. Okay.
Dude, you've got all these amazingly cool sayings. What saying have you decided to use on the campaign? What's interesting? What do you want people to remember?
I will fight for you in Senate.
Nice.
So my background is, people know me as a fighter, although, really, I of course got into that by fluke as well. I was down and out, needing money for me and my daughter to, be able to support my daughter. And I got into that. So now it's about, my kids are grown, they're successful. I got a brainiac of a daughter and a full academic scholarship at Wisconsin. Now it's about helping other people try to be, look, I believe in the American dream. I believe in going after your goals. I believe that, anybody can be anything from any country in this country. You can do anything you want to do if you just do it. Handouts don't work. Okay. Putting a Band-Aid on a leaky boat doesn't fix the problem. Okay. It is going to take hard work. It is going to be a grind. But I know collectively with the right-minded people, we can get it done. I believe that.
You just gave me chills. I will fight for you. So how do you get people who don't believe in you? Because clearly there's some people who are going to go, yeah, here's another sports guy who wants to get in, or here's another actor that wants to get in. How do you get people who don't believe in you to recognize you really are there to support them?
I tell them, I said, I don't care if you don't vote for me. It's okay. I want you to vote for the best man or woman that you believe in. Don't vote for a party. Vote for someone who will be like-minded like you, that'll support your values. You don't have to be me. It's okay. We can be friends. You don't have to support me in my political campaign, but get out there and vote. Get out there and be a part of the program. Because, if you want to have things change, if you really want to have things change, you have to do something about it. If you wait and say, well, let's just see what happens, and don't vote and don't become a part of it, well, what happens to people that wait? Nothing. What happens to change? Nothing. You have to participate. Be that one vote that could make the difference. You know what? If someone called me up in 2 months, said, hey, I voted for you, that, congratulations. Oh, excellent. Hey, let's have coffee. You know what? You're on my speed dial list, okay? Because for me, people that vote for me and support me are like-minded. I want those people to have full access to me and be able to say anything they want to say with any of their concerns, because that's important to me. If we don't start getting back to these town hall meetings and truly vote the way our people want us to vote, we're going to continue down the same road, like that definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So basically, if we don't get back to these town hall meetings, and I once a month or once every 6 months, and I say, okay, here's what's on the list of things that I have to vote for, you people. Let's talk about it. Let's do the pros and cons. Let's come to an agreement for my district here and say, which way do you guys want me to vote? Let's have a vote. Boom. And this is how I will do it. This is exactly how I'll do it. I just think that's the best way to do it, so you truly represent the people and not just my interests.
That's really fascinating. I do see you as somebody who does care about the person you're talking with. I've always seen you that way. What values you've mentioned a number so far. What values are important to you that you haven't that we haven't talked about so far?
Well, my values, my values is more about the success of helping people. I'm not a money-driven person, never have been. My values really are nothing materialistic or financial. It's really about, being that person that people can count on. Being that person that say, hey, I have a problem, Brad. You have a connection. You have any way? Now, loaning money and giving someone a job and stuff like that, all that stuff is fine. But I really want to mentor people how to change their lives so they keep running to the same problem. We keep throwing welfare. We keep throwing money at education. And guess what keeps going on? Nothing. We have a decline in education. We throw more money at it. It's statistically absolutely true. That's what's going on. So with welfare, we have welfare that's going. Minnesota is one of the worst, by the way. We give money to everybody for any reason whatsoever, but don't motivate them to get a job. I mean, why don't we get, put $250, $300 million into a program that says, single mothers, we're going to put you into these suburbs in these Section 8 houses where if you can, whatever job you have, we'll match your paycheck and pay your rent. Okay. You bring your crackhead boyfriend back, you're kicked out. Your kids get a B grade average or higher, you get an extra $500 a month. Your kids graduate, you get an extra $500 and they get free state tuition. Why not motivate these people to further education and better themselves? How do we create a 10-year program that helps stop this insanity? You heard of chain breaking, right? Our chains aren't being broken because we're not stopping the generations two generations behind us. They're following the next two by doing the same bad things. How do we motivate them to stop these bad things that they're doing? We've got to incentivize them to want to work, because if they work, we match their pay. We give them Section 8 housing. We're doing it already. We're doing it already. Okay, why not put them to work? How about we incentivize these kids to want to get good grades? Because mom wants that $500 bonus every month. Okay, so if she gets that bonus every month because her kids have a B or higher average, guess what? These kids are probably going to be more successful to go to college. And if they go to college, you know what's going to happen? They're going to get a better job. They're going to stay away from crime. And we're going to, the influx of employment will be better. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I think I have Dame Bramage from all the punches I took. But, I don't know why this isn't happening. It's just, there's programs out there that can be developed to really help people. And I'm not talking about the immediate people. How do we help the children? Well, we got to put the mothers, take them out of those situations. And so if we don't take them out of that environment, it's like taking a guy from prison and say, okay, now don't get in trouble. And you put him right back in the hood with all his buddies. What do you think is going to happen? We got to pluck them out, put them in a better situation, offer them an opportunity to say, if you really want to change your life, and it's got to be a program you have to qualify for. It's going to be a program that people really want to do. There are really good people out there struggling that want to make a change, but just don't have any direction. So you offer them a mentoring situation. You offer them, hey, look, here's job counseling. Here's, because you also got to change that mindset a little bit. You can't just keep on, move into a different neighborhood and think you can be the same way. You've got to make some changes. So I just think there's a better way to do things. And the only way to do something like that is to step up there and do something. And so I decided to step up. I think I'm going to ruffle some feathers, I think, but
I can't imagine you not. Okay.
but I meet with other senators and a congresswoman, and I talk to other candidates today, and they say, God, what a great idea. What great ideas. And, and they would support that. But to me, when you make it all about yourself, why? I mean, if you're going in there, I want to be a senator. I want to be this. I want to do these programs. That's what I'm not worried about being a senator. I want to implement these programs. That's, again, I mean, I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. I mean, there's a reason why I want to do this, because I believe that there could be youth programs out there that, I mean, look what our kids have to pay, or the parents of the kids have to pay for sports programs today. When you or I were kids, I remember it was free. And the values back then were much different. And what happened back then, lower crimes, lower everything. I mean, we had people working. It was just a different time back then. But also, I'll stop at this on this whole little segment here. But if it can be broke, it can be fixed. And that's a fact. It can be fixed. It's going to take a lot more grit to fix it. But it can be done. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. No, you're doing great. Otherwise, it's really hard to interrupt a politician. But no, you're doing great. So I loved what you were saying. Thank you. Is there a given the level of this conversation so far, is there a question I should have asked you that I didn't?
What do I do right now for work?
I hadn't asked that question. Yeah. Brad, what do you do now for work?
I am a manager of an Arby's. And although I still have my manufacturing company of my punching bags, I still do that. But I enjoy it. I love the fact that it's a hard-working job. It's really hard. And I get to mentor kids and young adults, and also other adults that, go through life-struggling situations, where you get to learn how to manage people in a way that you get to have them work as a team. So bringing a new person in and help them implement them into the team and get them to work as a one functional team has been great. I love servicing people. I love it when they come in and they get a great meal. They ring the bell because they've had great service, and we all yell, thank you. And they come back all the time. And I love the fact that, we take pride in a clean restaurant. And to me, it's much different than, of course, running a district. But all in all, again, it's about what really turns you on, what gives you the high. Wow, that person really loved our meal. And then put a review and say, oh my God, you feed off that energy and you want to do more. So that's what I do now. And believe me, I make a lot more money at Arby's than I will be as a state senator.
That's funny how that works.
I love my job too, but awesome. I see the value in helping the masses. I feel that through the years, through my trials and tribulations, and my strength and faith, that how strong it's become, and some of the things that I have learned, and the person I've become, I look back and I think, how have I become this way? And it's like, I've been gifted, and when this path was shown to me, I saw yes. And so in my personal opinion, I believe God demands me to do this. My family and the people of Minnesota deserve it. So that's why I'm doing it.
I love that. So listen, if you like what Brad said and you are in the state of Minnesota, I would highly encourage you to vote for him.
Oh, thank you.
And I would say is if there are people who want to reach out to you or learn a little bit more, what's the best way to go about doing that?
Well, my website is all one word. Brad Kohler for StateSenate.com. All one word. And Brad Kohler for StateSenate.com or Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I'm on everything. Okay. And it's not just about my political stuff. You know, I put a lot of inspirational things out there too. I've been doing that for years. I just love to motivate people every day. So you'll see some of my inspirational posts that I post. And tomorrow I got a really good one going out. So if you're watching tomorrow, you know, check it out. I got a good post coming out on Facebook and Instagram. So and
Brad,
LinkedIn.
thank you so much for sharing your values with us today. And this conversation was as robust and meaty as I thought it would be. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
And Mitchell, actually, absolutely an honor to always talk to you. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. And once again, if you guys liked what you heard, you were engaged the entire time, it's time to spread some cred dust. So click on the like button, share with your friends, and we'll see you at the next episode. Take care, everyone. Bye now.
Go ahead.